In this video, you will see what is the top 10 must-have units in Anime Defenders Update 7. Every units in this video are all obtainable and not from trading. I do want to know, what do you think is the best unit in this update 7? Remember to subscribe and like. And with that being said, in no particular order, the first must-have unit is Abyssal Warden. Abyssal Warden is one of the newest Wish banner unit added, and he became one of the strongest damage per second with this insane passive in this new Anime Defenders Update 7. Abyssal Warden stats a max upgrade and max LR, 89,319 damage with this SPA at 6.8 seconds, making his damage per second at 13,135.14, which is extremely strong, especially he becomes a full AoE at later upgrades with an insane passive. Abyssal Warden's passives summons a creature that will be at 200% of Warden's current damage every 30 seconds. Each kill, Warden gains an addition of 2% health to the creature up to 500%, making him insanely strong for a summoner unit, especially he becomes full AoE at later upgrades. How to get Abyssal Warden is by summoning from the exclusive Wish banner, which you'll be needing to have Wish to summon, and how to get Wish is through the game mode Hall of Mirrors. I recommend having all of the meta units to do Hall of Mirrors, and having two times or three times is going to make the grind a lot faster. Okay, next one is Golden Adult. Golden Adult is one of the best hybrid damage per second and support unit. Golden Adult stats a max upgrade and max LR, 74,769 damage with this SPA at 7.2 seconds, making his damage per second at 10,384.58, which is extremely strong, especially with his passive inflicting burn and bleed on enemies, dealing 5% of its damage over 7 seconds, and additionally inflict curses on enemies, increasing their damage taken by 15%. Wow, that is so meta OP, and the best traits you can have on Golden Adult are Almighty, Requiem, and Precision. Alright, next one is Cursed Overlord. Cursed Overlord is one of the best hybrid damage per second unit and insane ability in this new Anime Defenders Update 7. Cursed Overlord stats a max upgrade and max LR, 284,076 damage with this SPA at 7.7 seconds, making his damage per second at 36,892.98, which is insanely strong, especially at later upgrades. Curse Overlord will get a full throttle domain ability where it will reduce the normal enemy's current health by 50%, while bosses are immune, which is extremely unique and meta to have in your team. With this passive inflicting both burn and bleed effects on enemies, dealing 10% of its damage for 4 seconds, and this will cancel out regeneration enemies. Oh my. Okay, next one is Prime Leader. Prime Leader is one of the best damage per second with his full AoE and insane ability. Prime Leader stats a max upgrade and max LR, 89,736 damage with this SPA at 12.2 seconds, making his damage per second at 7,355.40, which is insanely strong, especially he becomes a full AoE, and at later upgrades, Prime Leader will get Galaxy Smash ability where it will deal 250% damage to enemies and creating a crater that will last for 30 seconds. Enemies passing through the crater have their movement speed reduced by 30%. Wowee! The best traits you can have on Prime Leader are Almighty, Requiem, and Precision, as he is at 3 placement. Alright, next one is Demon King Peak. Demon King Peak is one of the best support in this new Anime Defenders Update 7. Demon King Peak stats a max upgrade and max LR, 42,959 damage with this SPA at 7 seconds, making his damage per second at 6,137, which is insanely strong, especially he will be able to slow enemies and hybrid on placement, especially will be great for Hall of Mirrors, raids, portals, and many more. The best traits you can have on Demon King Peak are Apex, which is the newest trait, and it will be so meta for him. Oh my gosh. Okay, next one is Dracula 100%. Dracula is one of the newest secret raid unit, and he became one of the best secret unit, especially he becomes full AoE at later upgrades and have an insane ability in this new Anime Defenders Update 7. Dracula 100% stats a max upgrade and max LR, 36,361 damage with this SPA at 6.8 seconds, making his damage per second at 5,347.20, which may not seem a lot, but he has an ability which is Vampire Horde. What it does, it summons a plethora of vampire enemies from the base, assisting in fighting the enemies, which scales with the trait Dracula 100% have, which is extremely good. Especially he does 15% burn, which will cancel out regeneration enemies. Gasp! How to get Dracula is by defeating the newest Vampire Castle raid, which he is a 0.75% drop rate, and if you ever get unlucky, you can buy him through the raid shop, and good luck to everyone who is grinding for Dracula. Yippee! Alright, next it is Dragon Mage. Dragon Mage is one of the best damage per second, especially he is hybrid on placement and will be able to buff Flame by 50% in this new Anime Defenders Update 7. Dragon Mage stats: a max upgrade and max LR, 327,893 damage with this SPA at 7.7 seconds, making his damage per second at 42,583.50, which is insanely strong, especially he is a hybrid unit and full AoE at later upgrades. At later upgrades, he gets a brand new ability called Dragon's Wrath. When activated, Dragon Mage will deal 600% damage to all enemies within its blast radius. How to get Dragon Mage is through the Ancient Dragon Secret Portal. The best traits you can have on Dragon Mage are Almighty, Requiem, and Precision. Okay, next one is Elf Saint. Elf Saint is one of the best damage per second and support unit, especially with their insane passive in this new Anime Defenders Update 7. Elf Saint stats: a max upgrade and max LR, 209,087 damage with her SPA at 5.4 seconds, making her damage per second at 38,719.81, which is extremely strong, especially she becomes a full AoE, and Elf Saint has a passive where every third attack inflicts confuse on enemies for 5 seconds, causing them to move into the opposite direction during the duration. The best traits you can have on Elf Saint are Almighty, Apex, Requiem, and Precision. Alright, next one is Lunar Empress. Lunar Empress is still one of the best damage per second hybrid unit with her overpowered passive and huge line AoE in this new Anime Defenders Update 7. Lunar Empress stats: a max upgrade and max LR, 288,424 damage with her SPA at 5 seconds, making her damage per second at 57,684.8, which is insanely good. Especially Lunar Empress has an insane passive where she gains 1% damage for every 20 kills she gets, which is insanely strong. How to get Lunar Empress is through the secret Lunar Portal, which you can get Lunar Portals from raids. The best traits you can have on Lunar Empress are Almighty, Requiem, and Precision. Okay, next one is King of Dragons. King of Dragons became one of the strongest hybrid damage per second unit with his insane ability. Oh my gosh. King of Dragons stats: at max upgrade and max LR, 136,613 damage with this SPA at 6.1 seconds, making his damage per second at 22,395.57, which is insanely good. Especially at later upgrades, King of Dragons will get a Flame Nuke ability where it will deal 800% damage to all enemies within range, with his passive inflicting burn on enemies, dealing 15% of its damage for 4 seconds. And with burn, he will be able to cancel out regeneration enemies. The best traits you can have on King of Dragons are Requiem, Precision, since he is a 4 placement. Apex is also pretty strong on him. Alright, next one is Stage Diva. Stage Diva is one of the newest obtainable special banner unit, and she became the best support with her insane ability she have. Stage Diva's ability will buff 30% of damage, lessens 10% of his SPA, of their SPA, plus 15% range, and will make upgrade costs minus 15% less. Everyone in her range, even including herself, which is honestly meta. Oh my gosh. Using Crimson Phantom with the Stage Diva will not interfere with the buff, making them the best duo support for leaderboard runs, so I highly recommend to use both of them for leaderboard. How to get Stage Diva is through the special banner, and you'll be able to see the silhouette of her once she appears on the special banner. Good luck to everyone who is rolling for her. Okay, next is Skull Vindicator. Skull Vindicator is one of the best ground damage per second unit with his insane stats in this new Anime Defenders Update 7. Skull Vindicator stats a max upgrade and max level are 103,937 damage with his SPA at 11.7 seconds, making his damage per second at 8,883.50, which is extremely good, especially he has a huge line AoE and multi-hit, which will be great against shield enemies. The best traits you can have on Skull Vindicator are Apex, Warrior, Requiem, and Precision, since he is a 4 placement. Alright, next unit is Solar Overlord. Solar Overlord is one of the best damage per second unit in this new Anime Defenders Update 7 with his insane passive. Solar Overlord stats a max upgrade and max level are 115,385 damage with his SPA at 6.6 seconds, making his damage per second at 17,482.57, which is insanely strong as he is a hybrid on placement and does burn, which will be great against regeneration enemies. Solar Overlord has an insane passive where he gains 1% damage for every wave he survives, making him one of the best for infinites. How to get Solar Overlord is through the secret solar portal, which you can get solar portals from raids and challenges. The best traits you can have on Solar Overlord are Almighty, Requiem, and Precision. Okay, next unit is Celestial Tyrant. Celestial Tyrant is one of the newest obtainable ancient unit, and he became the best hybrid unit with his insane full AoE and extremely strong stats in this new Anime Defenders Update 7. Celestial Tyrant stats a max upgrade and max level are 613,487 damage with his SPA at 5.7 seconds, making his damage per second at 107,629, which is the highest damage per second in the whole entire game with Almighty. Celestial Tyrant's ability, Heavenly Freeze, he will be able to freeze every enemy in his range for 10 whole seconds. During this period, the enemies will be vulnerable, making them take 50% more damage, which is insanely strong, and it is a global cooldown, which will be extremely useful for leaderboard runs. How to get Celestial Tyrant is by summoning on the new special banner, and I wish everyone good luck to get Ancient Celestial Tyrant, especially he is insanely good. Alright, next unit is Poseidon Sea Sovereign. Poseidon is still one of the best damage per second unit with this insane slow and full AoE at later upgrades. Poseidon Sea Sovereign stats at max upgrade and max level are 59,674 damage with his SPA at 7.7 seconds, making his damage per second at 7,749.87, which is one of the best damage per second for a ground unit, especially. He does slow off rip, and at later upgrades, he becomes a full AoE. How to get Poseidon Sea Sovereign is by summoning on the Trial of Neptune banner in Realm, which you use the Aqua tokens to summon. The best traits you can have on Sea Sovereign are Apex, Almighty, Requiem, Precision, and Sonic. Finally, the last unit is Radiant Monarch. Radiant Monarch is still one of the best damage per second unit with his insane bleed in this new Anime Defenders Update 7. Radiant Monarch stats a max upgrade and max level are 56,085 damage with his SPA at 8.6 seconds, making his damage per second at 6,521.51, which is one of the best damage per second for a hybrid unit, especially he does bleed off rip, which makes him great against regeneration enemies as he will cancel out regenerations. Wowee! How to get Radiant Monarch is by summoning on the Trial of Radiance banner in Realm, which you use the solar tokens to summon. The best traits you can have on Radiant Monarch are Almighty, Requiem, Precision, and Sonic. Sheesh! That was everything for this video on the top 10 must-have units in Anime Defenders Update 7. I hope this video helped you in some sort of way. Remember to subscribe and like, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye! Yippee yay!